effectively, dynamically, committedly, and devotedly who ran at a loss. I've never seen anyone. Hi guys, welcome to Dominion Wealth Zone. My name is Julius Olutokun. It's good to see you once again today. I'm bringing you another wonderful video on this telecast. Dominion Wealth Zone aims to empower men and women to become their best in life using these basic principles in every sphere of operations. Now, please do consider to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that anytime I release any video, you can be prompted. Today, I'll be talking on 5 investment ideas for 2025. 5 investment ideas for 2025. Although this is going to be relevant in 2026, 2027, but because I'm releasing this in 2025, I want you to hit the ground running ASAP. Now, if you are used to, or if you know about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you find out the first level of needs, the one at the base, they are called physiological needs. These are the needs or things that must be in place for anyone to survive. And without them being in place, you will not be able to move to the social needs, to the status needs, and to luxury needs, and to every other needs on that hierarchy of needs. Now, these 5 things I'm going to be sharing with you, they are things that you can start ASAP. You can start planning today. Before the end of this week or next week, you can start operating in them. I've seen people that did this and it's worked. The first one is food business. Everybody wants to eat. I want to eat. And I will appreciate anyone that can guide me in how to eat food that will be beneficial for me. You know, food is about discovery. Food is not only about getting the ingredients together and eating it. And there was one time during my birthday, I think that should be about 17 or 18 years ago, one of our church members then invited us to their house, and she did this food, and it was made with eggs and probably some butter, and I didn't know what she put inside again. And I have to ask her, what are the ingredients of this? How do you make this? Now, if she's doing that to sell that, I'll be buying it. And there was one time we were having another thing to do in church, and somebody did some sauce. Oh, that sauce was wonderful. And there's any reason why I go to Nando's, probably it's because of the sauce. Because the first time I saw Nando's sauce in one of the stores here that I could buy, I bought it straight away. Why? Because I love it. So food is highly essential. Everybody you know in life eats one form of food or the other. So if I were you, I would go into a food business. And food business has got different categories. You could go into catering, where you supply parties. You could go into food that you make into packs and you supply people who are going to work. You could go into food that you supply to stores, to shops. And these are the things you can start ASAP. Just do your feasibility study. Make sure you get the relevant documentation in place. Make sure you get you look at how many people can you cater for. And one thing about food business is once it's good, it's good. I've never seen anyone who does food business effectively, dynamically, committedly, and devotedly who ran at a loss. I've never seen anyone. Everyone that I know that does food business, they are always making profit. Now you could go into raw food, you can go into cooked food, you can go in supplying food. Everybody wants to eat something. So all what you have to do is, I've always said, start from where you are. Look at your circle of friends and say, look, I can supply this. I can supply this type of food. And you can give them taste. Just allow them to try. You can go and supply either I know someone who does a suya. Suya is an African or Nigerian barbecue, and we love it. I remember last time somebody bought a suya from a store, and I saw the guy come and said, "What do you have in your hand?" He said, and I tasted it. I had to call him and said, "Look, what you're doing is great," and I had to give him some ideas of how to leverage and how to increase his operation. So, food business is number one. It's a whole world of market. The food market is so big that it can never be oversaturated. Everybody wants to eat something, and they want to eat good food. Number one. Number two is shelter, properties, housing. Now, there are many ways you can go into housing or shelter. I'm involved so much in that industry. You could do buy to let, buy a house, let it out. You could do rent to rent, rent a house, change it to HMO, and rent it as room by room. HMO means house of multiple occupation. So that's room by room. Or you could rent a house and let it out on Airbnb, Booking.com, Home and Away. There are many platforms where you can let your house out. You could buy, renovate, and sell. I mean, that is a bit cost intensive, but the rent to rent, either rent and rent it to a family directly, or rent, you turn into HMO, rent it room by room, or you rent and you let it out on for all the people that are coming on holidays, or contractors are involved in some of these areas. So it's very important for you to be able to do this. So when you go into shelter or accommodation, you find out if you're doing it right, you can never ever get it wrong. If you're doing it right, you will always make a difference. And in buying property, someone will say, "Oh, I don't have in capitals to buy a property." Now, there's something that is called REIT. It's a real estate investment trust. You could buy a bit or a part of a property, a fraction, depending on what you have. You're going to see my video on REIT in the next episode. The next business that you can start and kick running straight away is transportation. Somebody will say, "That's capital intensive." No, it's not. If you have your driving license, you get a car, get your Uber license, and off you go. Everybody wants to move from one place to the other. Now, you cannot put a difference into what you do with transportation. You could go into contract transportation. In other words, people that want to drop their kids in school, you could help them to drop their kids in school. People that want to probably have a party or go for an occasion, you could be dropping them. People that want to move to the airport or come from the airport, you could be dropping them. Just do your cards and give it out. You'll be amazed at how many level of business you're going to be getting. And as a matter of fact, you could start this business without having your Uber license. There's a way you can start it. You can start from friend and family. Most of these businesses I'm talking about, these are things you can start with friends and family. I've always said that if you say you are my friend and you cannot support what I do, then you're not my friend. You understand? So you can start that with friends and with family. And that's number 3. Number 4 is childcare business. Childcare business. I believe you know someone who has a child and who is a working parent, either a working single father or single mother, or both of them are working and they have a baby or a child to look after. Now, you could leverage on that. All what you have to do is to do your childcare course. In the UK, I think it's level 3, which in the next 6 months you could finish it. And once you do that, you start your childcare business. I want you to let me look after your child. I know parents that pay as much as £900. And I repeat myself again, £900 to look for childcare for their children. They want someone in the morning to pick the child from their house, take the child to school, or to nursery, and after that, they want that same person to pick the child after 3 or 4 or 5. You could leverage on that. That is a business that is so important, and you've got to do it right. And if you're doing it right, if you're doing it very well, I bet you will not regret going into it. Childcare business. A lot of people have kids, they have 2, 3 kids, and they want someone to take the burden because they want to develop their careers. They don't want to leave their careers because they want to look after kids. So that is very, very important. But make sure you do your due diligence before you go into childcare. It's very, very important. Number 5 is education training. Most people don't see this. I live in the UK, and the education here is great. However, I would say it's not the best. It's great. And the method of learning and training is wonderful. But because there are no testing in all the classes, kids are just moved from year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3. And when they get to year 6, they will say they have to do SAT. The same thing in high school. They go from year 7 to year 8 down to year 11. And when they get to year 11, they have to do GCSE. Now, English and maths are very, very important. I used to teach before. English and maths are very, very important to anything you want to do in life, especially English. So therefore, some parents want someone to teach their kids in English and maths, especially those kids that want to do exam, those kids that want to do their SAT or their GCSE. Now, you don't need, this is the good thing about this, pre-COVID, you need to go to their houses to teach them in the UK. But since COVID, we discovered you can do this online. So you are in the comfort of your home, the pupil or the student is in the comfort of their home, and you are teaching them. And the least you will get as of today that I know is £35 an hour. I repeat myself again, £35 an hour. Some people get as much as £50, £60, depending on who you're teaching. Either you're teaching somebody in the high school or you're teaching somebody in the college who is going to do his or A levels. So education training. And most of you listening to me now, you have some transferable skills in the area of English or math. If you can do both, that's even much more better. So education is in number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, you can put your comments below in any of these area. If you need clarification, you can get in touch with me and I will be able to give you some ideas. However, consultation fee applies, like the lawyers will say. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification button so that you can get the benefit of the next video I am going to release. Thank you. These are 5 great investment ideas for 2025. In fact, let me chip the number 6 to it, to health and wellness business. Everybody wants to be well. Everybody wants to be healthy. What kind of fruit do they have to eat? What kind of exercise do they have to do? What kind of supplement do they have to use? That's just a bonus for number 6. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.